In the small, dusty town of Millfield, where everyone knew everyone and nothing ever changed, lived a woman named Clara Hill. She was the kind of person you'd miss if you blinked. Middle-aged, soft-spoken, and always dressed in plain, faded clothes, Clara lived quietly on the edge of town in a weather-beaten cottage filled with second-hand books and teacups missing their handles. Clara worked at Millfield's only grocery store, stocking shelves and sweeping floors. She never made a fuss, never raised her voice, and always said please and thank you. Most people didn't notice her. And those who did often dismissed her as a bit odd. She didn't gossip like the others. She didn't go to Sunday socials. She didn't care about the latest hair trends or bake sales. People called her the mouse behind her back. Harmless. Forgettable. But Clara had a secret. Every evening, after the store closed and the town lights dimmed, Clara would sit by her window and sing. Not just hum, not whisper, sing. Her voice was honey and velvet, power and grace, echoing into the night like something out of a dream. But only the moon and the wind ever heard it. She never sang in front of people. Until one day, fate pushed her into the spotlight. It all started with the town's annual Millfield Harvest Festival, a modest event with pie-eating contests, handmade crafts, and a local talent show. This year, the organizers wanted to spice things up and invited folks from the town to share their hidden talents. Posters went up everywhere. Everyone was buzzing. At the store, Clara overheard a few regulars laughing about it near the canned peas. "You going to sing, Clara?" One of them chuckled. It was Tammy Lee, the mayor's daughter and a self-declared influencer, with a sharp tongue and an Instagram account filled with filtered selfies. Clara just smiled politely. "Oh no, I'm not a performer." Tammy leaned in with a smirk. "Oh, come on. It's just for fun. Maybe you'll surprise us." Her friends giggled, elbowing each other. Later that day, Tammy posted a sarcastic TikTok. "Just found out Clara from the store is entering the talent show flushed face hashtag pray for our ears." It went semi-viral. Well, at least among the bored teens of Millfield. The mockery spread. Some laughed behind her back. Others egged her on, hoping for a good laugh at the show. But Clara didn't back down. For the first time, she signed up. The night of the festival arrived. The stage was set up in front of Town Hall, with fairy lights strung overhead and folding chairs filled with townspeople bundled in jackets and sipping cider. The talent show featured the usual. Kids reciting poems, a nervous teen magician, a trio of ladies singing an off-key rendition of a pop song. Then came the MC's voice. "Next up, Clara Hill." There was a pause. Murmurs ran through the crowd. Some people snorted. Tammy smirked in the front row, ready to record the cringe. Clara stepped onto the stage. She looked so small under the lights. Her dress was plain blue. Her hands trembled slightly as she gripped the microphone. For a heartbeat, the crowd waited, silent and skeptical. Then she began to sing. The first note floated into the night air, low and haunting. A hush fell. Then came the next, and suddenly it was as if the whole town had stopped breathing. Her voice soared, rich and full, spilling emotion and beauty into every corner of the square. It wasn't just good. It was extraordinary. Raw. Pure. Devastating. People leaned forward in their chairs. Some teared up. Others simply sat frozen, stunned. By the time she finished, a flawless rendition of an old folk ballad, there was a moment of stunned silence. Then, thunderous applause. The entire crowd stood. People who had never spoken a kind word about Clara were now clapping and cheering. Even Tammy, phone forgotten in her lap, sat with her mouth hanging open. Clara smiled softly, nodded once, and stepped down. She didn't look for validation. She didn't soak in the praise. She had sung for herself. But the town had heard her. The next day, Millfield was different. People approached her with admiration, instead of dismissal. The store had more customers than usual, all wanting to say hello or thank her for last night. Local radio stations began asking about her. One even invited her to perform live. A music teacher from a nearby city left a note saying, "You have a gift. Please don't hide it." Tammy never made another joke about Clara again. And as for Clara Hill, the simple woman no one noticed, she continued to work at the store. Still smiled gently. Still wore plain dresses. But now, once in a while she sang. Not for the town. Not for fame. Just because it was finally okay to be heard.